We are live. This is the market update, Friday night fireside edition. I am your host, Bill Noble. If you need a roadmap in crypto, stay with this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live in Discord. And if the content works for you, please check out the feedback form down below. Okay, so let's chat before we welcome who's here. I don't think anything can stop Bitcoin. And then once Bitcoin gets to 105, it'll be an unstoppable move in ETH and Solana and related ecosystems. In the meantime, you will notice that you've got kind of an unbelievable market. I'm sure if your coin is not up 40% in one day, it's only up 3% or 5%, you feel like you've somehow missed out. Okay, so you've got some coins like Virtual and Ohm going up 45%, and you've got stuff like PAL going down 45%. So there are winners and losers in this market, and it's a sign of epic volatility on the way. Epic. Probably like a massive blow off top on the upside in Bitcoin, followed by a correction in Bitcoin and ETH and Solana taking off, like I said, massively. Now, on a psychological note, it is somewhat ironic that as Gensler is leaving, people are not understanding what has been said about XRP, Cardano, Algorand, and Hedera. Like, they've only moved 2 days in a row. XRP should be at $3. It's not. It's going there. It's going to $1.80 for sure in my mind. But it's somehow people don't get this. Like, I mean, remember when you could go to the BitBoy gift shop and get the XRP shirt? It was actually kind of cool. Where is all of that? Where is everybody? Like the Orange Man, and I mean that in a respectful way, the Orange Man has come out and said, hey, we're not taxing this transactions on money. XRP can be used as money. You might argue that Cardano could be used as a payment mechanism or as a way to store healthcare records. You don't know. I'm sure the guy who founded Cardano, who's going to be on Joe Rogan, knows. These coins are not up that much. People are just absolutely not paying attention. Now, what are they paying attention to? Okay, well, the answer is, of course, memes, right? Hollywood celebrities are going out of fashion, and it's dogs, cats, turtles, squirrels, you name it. Now, not to sound like a boomer, but I think Brian is right that if you're going to do memes, stick with stuff that's going to be on Coinbase or that came out of the base ecosystem. Because I got news for you. Even though they're kind of like marquee names, I don't understand why as Gensler walks out the door, no one wants XRP, but all of a sudden everybody wants Bonk and Whiff, right? Doge may be an exception, right? They got the Hippo coin going on these big centralized exchanges, particularly the Canadian one, Kraken, right? I'm like, everyone's like, ha, 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 what's Gensler going to do? Well, Gensler's probably going to open up a private law firm and represent all the retail investors that buy the high in meme coins and wind up losing 60 to 70% because they had no idea what they were getting themselves into. In other words, these guys who are, outside of Doge, people coming into some of these higher cap meme coins, like new ones or relatively new ones, they're going to be subjected to like 50 to 60, 70% corrections. That just happens in meme coins. I don't think the general public is ready for that at all. They think this is easy money. They say, oh my God, I can buy, 100 Bonk coins. And when Bonk goes to $1, I'll be rich. Not exactly. Okay? Not exactly. So my advice is to be very careful about what meme coins you chase, unless you're chasing them as trading plays. In other words, if you have an allocation and you can say, okay, this is the lottery money and I'm going to play with that, great. I think at this point, going on centralized exchanges and chasing big memes, I mean, you're just running face first into whale selling, right? Conversely, I think there's nothing but whale and Wall Street buying to be done in just about every big cap crypto that you could think of that has a use, from virtual to Bitcoin to Solana, right? To Ohm or any of these real world asset plays. BlackRock announcements are imminent. So find out where the smart money is buying and find out where the smart money is selling. Okay. Because yes, it's easy to laugh at Gensler on the way out, but somehow it gives me the creeps that all these centralized exchanges are trying to lure retail in with memes which require no explanation, wondering what happens if you wind up with sell in May and go away. So let's make the money now and let's not run into a whole bunch of sellers. Okay, let's see who's here. Kenneth, hello. Yes, we need some theme song music for sure. Miklo, Banks 911, welcome. Miklo, sorry. Apex, Crypnotic, hello. Friday night just got much better. Thomas, good evening. Hav, hello. Kenneth, all right. Ian, Sean, Dills, Stefan, Tim, Warmon, Justin, what's up? Okay. Still keen on Polkadot. Yes. As a long-term hodl. Yes. Polkadot's day is coming. So is cross-chain. Okay. News. Again, as just a reminder, fear greed is at 88. So it's a good time to remind you that this is why we're here. Bitcoin has no limit because fiat has no bottom. I understand we're all pumped up. I'm totally excited. Somebody has misunderstood my Orange Man nickname for president-elect. Not disrespectful at all. But we do have $36 trillion in debt. And no matter how much they cut, they're not going to cut their way out of that kind of a problem. They're going to have to grow their way out of that kind of a problem, which is why they are going to do the strategic Bitcoin reserve, and they're going to goose every part of this ecosystem that they can to try to create as many jobs as they can, as much industry as they can. And no one, I don't think, cares unless the dollar is collapsing. No one cares. They want it, and they want it yesterday. This whole Bitcoin thing has created an air, like an aura of excitement around this new administration, and they are not going to want to stop that at all. And they can't because of the debt, right? They just can't. Okay, so I actually applied. They were asking for resumes on Twitter. I sent mine in. The Department of Government Efficiency, right, just to see if they would call me. According to the sources, the blockchain that tracks everything, right? Oh, wow, what a shock. Cardano is on the list. How did that happen? And Hedera is there. They're going to put everything on a blockchain, and wouldn't you know, the American blockchains are there, and no one's really interested in buying this stuff. You know, Hedera is the bridge for Karate Combat tokens. So they got Karate Combat and Uncle Sam, and everyone's chasing Bonk. Wow. Okay, so Elon, this is going to be the most transformative presidency since the country was founded. Folks, everyone thought the American Revolution was going to be right fighting left in the streets. Really. Ray Dalio and all these crusty hedge fund guys, I'm so happy that they were wrong. Because the social disorder that they predicted was them turning the U.S. government upside down in like a bloodless coup, where they're like, you know what? This is our government. We're going to take it back and do something with it. Hopefully they can actually execute on that. That's the revolution. Okay, so for our friends in London, somebody made a comment on TikTok and they went to jail. And somebody else said something that they didn't want to see a particular flag on their street. And the cops showed up at 4 a.m. that day or the next day. Federal workers feeling dread. Now, once again, about blockchain, and people are not getting this at all. At all. If you cut $2 trillion out of the federal budget, if Elon goes Twitter on U.S. government employees, unless they're giving them 12 months or 6 months pay on the way out, you're going to have real estate in Virginia, Washington, D.C., and Maryland crash. Like absolutely crash. These people are going to turn in their keys to their houses at the bank and say, have a nice day. I'm not even going to bother trying to sell it. I'm done. Lobbyists, all this big money, and even the small money, right? Little government workers, they're going to turn in their keys. So this is going to be a drag on economic growth. That's just an example. Not to mention the fact that, again, the entire economy is held up by government sugar, government hiring, right? You bring this to a halt, you need a growth engine. You do. Now, is it going to be enough of a growth engine in crypto to offset that? Probably not, but they got to have something. So if they're doing the Department of Government Efficiency, they have to goose blockchain massively. And if you think they're kidding, you really need to recompute, because I think stuff like XRP and Cardano and Algorand and all this stuff, I think you look at these charts, it's like, people are just like, whatever. No. People always do the wrong trade. The first trade is always wrong. The first trade this time around was everybody went after Bitcoin, sort of, right? And then everybody's going after the meme coins, and that's what's getting all the attention. I mean, it's great if you're trading them, but that's not the structural play for the next 24 months. Social media companies are going to have to face the music, right? They're going to get, the Orange Man is suing them personally, and I think everyone's going to sue them. And they're going to get caught because they're going to subpoena everything. They're going to go through it all, and they're going to find that, these guys have probably been cooperating. Either it was their idea or someone made them cooperate. Again, if they're going to take on all of these characters up here, they're not kidding. They're not about anything. This thing with the food, right? With Kennedy, right? Going after the food companies, the drug companies. Let me explain to you how that's going to go down. Okay. He's running some, health agency, and he's going to go to a scientific group called the National Institute of Health, and he's going to fire all the scientists, because the scientists who make the vaccines and approve the drugs literally either used to work for the drug companies or still do. He's going to fire all those people. And then he's going to get studies done. Like, what does the vaccine do to you? What does this pesticide do to you? What does all this sugar do to you? What does it all do to you? Most of the ingredients in this food is illegal in Europe. What's he going to do? He's going to get studies done. And then he's not going to have to pass a law. He's not going to have to go through Congress. He's just going to publish the studies. And then everybody who's gotten sick is going to get a lawyer and sue these companies into complete obscurity. Like, there are going to be major corporate bankruptcies over this in a year. In a year. Like, the drug stocks are down like, I don't know, what are they down like 5 or 8%? Like, I looked at the drug company sort of index. I mean, they've been FOMOing into drug stocks ever since COVID. They were FOMOing into drug stocks for like 8 years, even before COVID. You're going to have a major drug company go out of business. Does this look like these guys are kidding about anything that they're talking about? Of course, for crypto, this is wonderful, right? It's like long Bitcoin, short drug stocks. It's pretty easy. Frankly, it's long Bitcoin, short all stocks, because they're going to get the Magnificent Seven. They're going to get the drug companies. I mean, that's a huge chunk of their market cap. Somebody in big cap tech is going to jail, right? They're going to jail. XRP, the head of it, talks about America's crypto rise. God, can you imagine if this guy had endorsed Trump? Like, he'd be standing up at the podium, like front and center, the XRP persecuted poster boy. XRP would be at $3 right now. And it still may go there in spite of like the strange PR blunder. But I mean, I guess he was so afraid. He was afraid. I'm okay with people making mistakes. He fought Gensler for years. And it's going to $3 because no one on YouTube will talk about it. Like I've seen YouTube thumbnails. I see Gensler, but I don't see XRP. I see tweets like, I'm happy for the XRP army, but no one's going, XRP's going to $3 or $5. No one's talking about that anymore. That's because they did it for 2 years or 3 years and they can't do it anymore, which of course is why I'm now doing it. Okay. Here's the orange man looking for 10 billion in damages. If he gets 10 billion in damages, these places will go out of business because every single senator, every MAGA politician will then turn around and do the same thing. This is how he's going to attempt to literally end legacy media. COVID trials will occur. So, I mean, just take this negative and flip it. Like, this is what the first headline is, and the second headline is what's going to go on with crypto. Meanwhile, Cynthia Loomis says we can get a crypto bill for 1 million Bitcoin in the first 100 days if we have the support of the people. Pretty sure they have the support of the people. Left-leaning Bloomberg calls Cynthia Loomis a Trump ally just to make sure that everyone who reads that doesn't think well of her, right? She wants the Fed to sell gold to buy Bitcoin. Do you see how these people are like, they're like one-upping themselves on the headlines? They're one-upping themselves on the memes. It's news flow. Every day, they're like one-upping themselves. Oh, yeah, we can get this done right now. Yeah, right? Bipartisan support. Michael Saylor proposed the idea of a Bitcoin dividend. Own MicroStrategy and give us your wallet address. The only way you're ever going to get to buy a ton of Bitcoin is if you buy MicroStrategy. Okay, so Mike thinks that Gary going away is incredibly bullish for digital assets. It is. Unless we're all stupid, not us, but because cryptos does that. They have a unique way of effing themselves. Let's hope that doesn't happen, right? I mean, it's a boom for the industry, led by XRP, Cardano, Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, and a lot of the tech and the stuff on base, right? Manifest destiny for the United States. Mike is just going like totally high level on us. When these guys say it's going to 1 million, it means that they're going to pay 100. He paid 20. Nobody ever thought you'd see Bitcoin above the 2017 high at 20K. Mike, on the way up, he bought it at 10. And then you know what he did? He bought it at 20. And I remember to this day, this is when I really knew about crypto. I really fully understood it, was when a bunch of guys in the ex-Goldman chat room were like, what a savage. Like, what a beast. Coming in and buying it at what was then considered the mother of all-time highs. Matter of fact, I think 20 back then is now 100 today. It's like the level. And he's going to pay 100. I guarantee you. It'll print 105 because he's buying it at 100. That's what they're telling you. Here's another one who's going to pay 100. Cathie Wood never met an overvalued or overbought asset that she didn't like. This is like the queen of FOMO. She bought Tesla when it was down, but again, she is a momentum investor. Wow, looky. Goldman has $710 million worth of the Bitcoin ETF. Probably because their big hedge fund or asset management clients are going to be asking for it. And they can just do the buy with a flick of a button, just moving it from Goldman's account to their account, right? They got it on hand in inventory. What do you think all this buying was about in the range? They have to have it in inventory. If they don't have it and they have to chase it, they're not doing themselves or their clients any favors. They have to buy it now. 5 U.S. public companies adopted Bitcoin. Brian Armstrong notes this blue line, okay, is the annual volume of Bitcoin and stable coins. So stable coins in the blue have actually enjoyed huge volume relative to Bitcoin. In other words, money is flooding into the system, into stable coins. So they're either printing them using treasuries to back it, or money's really coming in, and money is pouring in massively. Like stable coins are up only. Money market funds saw massive inflows, right? Bank deposits on the rise. A whole bunch of money came into the banking system. The banking system is sitting on like what? 6 trillion in cash. 6 trillion in cash in money market funds, collecting 4% in a rate cutting environment. Now, if they wanted to get out of equities, I can't blame them. But anybody who's sitting around, I mean, you're probably like mind boggled. Your coins are up 4% today, and you're mad because they're not up 40%. Meanwhile, all of TradFi is sitting in basically glorified bank deposits, money market funds that are not even insured. UAE residents can now trade crypto directly with their bank accounts. This is the future, by the way. It's your crypto and your money all in the same place inside of a bank. I know, disgusting. It's going to happen. Robinhood update. We just dropped 12 new technical analysis indicators on our platform. Why? Because we're going to introduce meme coins, and we want to give you the tools out there so that when you sue us, we can say we gave you the tools. You think I'm kidding? Like, and actually this makes sense. If you're going to give people meme coins, give them something to help navigate it. For real. Okay, so Gensler is stepping down. Thank God, right? The Wicked Witch is dead. And we are now free to move about the cabin. We are now free to build about the country. And it's amazing that everything you would build on is not moving. It's not moving, right? The ecosystem is so distracted. I mean, there's 2 games going on, right? The equity market closes on Friday, and the crypto market moons whatever it can moon. Like whatever nobody owns, the crypto market moons it. Then when the crypto market thinks it's smart, Legacy comes in on Monday and looks at everything that the crypto market is ignoring, which, you know, like it was Doge and now it's XRP and Cardano. The big players are going to say, oh, look, the crypto heads missed 1, 2, and 3. Oh, look, this is money. Oh, look, this is a network. Oh, look, this is tax-free. Boom. And then the crypto heads get caught off guard because BlackRock comes in and market buys everything Monday morning in almost in a joyful panic that they didn't moon everything that's going to do nothing but go up for 2 years. Literally, it's going to do nothing but go. I mean, you're going to have a stock market disturbance in the fall. You know, you're going to have a boring summer, but basically there are components of this market that have to be completely repriced. So yeah, I mean, crypto's all over virtual and Ohm and, you know, various memes, but don't be fooled about like, you know, we think we're fooling Legacy. Legacy's coming in on Monday morning and they're going to go crazy. There is no way any of those people are going home for Thanksgiving underexposed to crypto. It's not. Okay. In a sign of the possible apocalypse on memes, Litecoin has now rebranded itself as a meme coin. Wow. Now, Litecoin does have some security problems, but this is the kind of capitulation that makes me want to go, okay, if you have made money in memes, take the money. I know there's stuff on Base that's going to get listed. I know I like DGen because right now it's the only meme out there. But again, really, there's so much more to do. And if Litecoin is going to step down as baby Bitcoin, then Bitcoin Cash can step in even with the Mt. Gox selling, right? Satoshi era Bitcoin wallet moves $178 million worth of Bitcoin. I think they bought it at 6 cents. Okay, this got left out of the political section. We have total capitulation. IBM, Disney, and Comcast are all back advertising on Twitter. Again, good luck fighting the current trends. Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office is now reducing its prosecution of crypto cases. Why? Because they just got told to. They got told. What? The Manhattan District Attorney's Office woke up and said, oh, I've had an enlightenment. I'm going to buy the Hippo coin today. No, they got told. That's it. We're done. You know, you guys may not have jobs to begin with. So if you want to keep your job for now, stop messing with crypto. Just stop it. Investors withdraw appeal that Elon manipulated Doge. I think Doge just did fine all by itself. El Salvador bought more Bitcoin today. That guy doesn't do anything but make speeches in like really expensive clothes and buy more Bitcoin. He's not wrong. BlackRock, 2.4 billion a day. It's like billions a day, and people still think they're going to get a trading dip to 81. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve has precedent in other big U.S. government purchases. Right. In other words, the Fed has been printing money to buy every asset under the book. Like, God forbid, Elon actually goes in there and finds out how much S&P futures the plunge protection team owns. How much they own, how much U.S. stock futures they have bought. I bet it's $5 trillion that they got somewhere inside the plunge protection team. Right? U.S. government, I mean, the Swiss government is a U.S. equities hedge fund. The Swiss central bank is a U.S. equities hedge fund. They have been buying the Magnificent Seven for 10, 15 years. And we can't buy some Bitcoin to goose the ecosystem because they all know that whatever they have to do to cut the economy off from the sugar is going to create a recession, because that's what happened in 1980. Ronald Reagan, greatest president ever. Yeah, guy walked in, Volcker raised rates to 20%, and there was a recession for 2 years. It was painful. But, of course, when it turned around, it was unbelievable. Now they're going to use this suppressed ecosystem like crypto to act as a growth engine, which, again, is absolutely in no way, shape, or form priced in. Now, you can see the market starting to do it because you have these random 40% explosions, right? It's like, oh, my God, you know, virtual is going to have an AI product that works. It's going to make new celebrities. The old celebrities are done. It's going to make new AI-based celebrities. Boom. Right? That's probably just going to keep going up because it's going to continue to produce celebrities, as I understand it. Okay, the Treasury Secretary is pro-crypto. Of course he is, right? They just got told what they're going to do. It's the new, crypto is the new QE. Crypto is QE for the crypto bro. I'm serious. Pennsylvania is in. Every sovereign is going to want to have it on their balance sheet. I mean, it's almost like the government's guaranteeing Bitcoin by buying 1 million coins over 5 years. Right? And if there's a dollar problem, the states will be hedged. Median U.S. home price. So in 2012, you needed 50,000 Bitcoin. Now you only need 5. This could be really compelling. You know, my coworker Toby showed me something where somebody said if you have $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, you're set for life. You'll be okay. You can get $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. You know, if you had said that in 2012, you could take 5 of your 50,000 Bitcoin and buy a house and keep the rest. Okay, Gala is set to debut a film token. Again, movies, media, no one's even talking about it. The first headline I've seen about Solana 1000. They wrote about this every day back in March. Ethereum attempts bullish recovery, pushed out of the way by Bitcoin, will go over the chart. Ethereum is now bigger than Johnson & Johnson. I can't think of a better trade. Long crypto, short drug companies. I mean, every hedge fund's going to do it. For real. Franklin Templeton has a money market fund on the blockchain. Charlie Lee thinks this is a great idea about, Solana is like a microphone of crypto. You need to check if it's even on before you try to use it. I don't know. Litecoin is not a meme coin, okay? A country in Asia, they now have $1 billion, and they're shipping their Bitcoin to Binance, and they may cash out. I'm sure BlackRock and Michael Saylor will take it all, but they've probably changed their lives. XRP jumps 17%. Ooh, outperforms the rest of the market as traders think 120K Bitcoin is still in play. Yeah, but they don't think 120K Bitcoin is still in play next week. I think 105K is in play next week. And who knows, they could get really wild with it. Really wild. In other words, sometimes when people adjust their long-term targets, I've seen this in equities. Sometimes when people adjust their long-term targets, they become short-term targets. Right? You can't develop a target that's reasonable because the market just keeps going there. And that's exactly what could happen on Bitcoin. If they don't do it today, they'll do it Sunday night. Okay, so everybody is saying that Bitcoin is the Trump effect. No, Bitcoin is the government debt effect. Like, again, the orange man needs this as an industry. He needs the hype. He needs it, right? But it's not just him. It's just like push just came to shove, and everybody just decided that 36 trillion was too much. Doge to $3, XRP to $3, Peanut to $5. Shocking price targets all the way around. Okay. If Doge goes to $3, XRP will be at $5. You'll also have 250K Bitcoin or some huge number. Right? Again, XRP is a form of money that they are not they're not taxing the transactions. China could reassess its crypto ban. No one is talking about this, right? You're talking about like all the haters are capitulating. So Gensler capitulates. Who's next? The Chinese. You know why? Because they have crypto bros that aren't doing crypto that need a distraction. They need a distraction. They need a wealth effect. They've bought all the gold and all the silver in the world. Great. You have a vault full of rocks. That'll be great if the dollar goes down. But in the meantime, where's the excitement? Where's anything that gets your population pumped up? There isn't any. They're going to capitulate on this. And then Hong Kong is going to wind up like the Bitcoin capital of Asia, because Hong Kong is a major financial center. And I have seen Hong Kong in person. And if the Chinese government decides that Hong Kong is going to be a giant Bitcoin or crypto financial center, there isn't enough crypto on the planet to cover those buy orders. Institutions, the skyscrapers, it's huge beyond what I can describe. Crypto cases will be dismissed or unsettled. Dismissed or settled, says the guy that just laid everybody off, Joe from Consensus. So Joe just capitulated, unfortunately, and then boom, the market goes crazy. You don't ever want to see Gensler again. Now, I know you don't control centralized exchanges. Whatever Coinbase lists, I'm assuming Coinbase's legal department is going to approve whatever it is they're doing. Hopefully. Right? Because when they go cowboy and think there's no consequences, maybe not today, but that's when you got to be careful. Particularly, say, on January 1. Like when these big memes, I'm thinking about January 1, right? Like on January 1, every whale that's watching retail bid up their coin is going to want to take the money. That's what happened to the Trump coin. The Trump coin could not get centralized exchange liquidity, and whales crushed it. They crushed it. It's the only political coin that didn't go up. So when you're buying memes on a centralized exchange, you're buying it from the whales who were early, just so you know. And that's okay until the music stops. Way better off in something that has a tech use or something that Uncle Sugar is going to effectively underwrite. Okay, a purple camel is here. Welcome. Gian is in the house. Hello. Okay. PowerPoint. Volatility is a feature, not a bug. Do not let this market scare you. Do not let this market scare you on down moves. Everyone still thinks we're in the range. Everyone still thinks you're going to get a dip in Bitcoin to 81. I don't know why they think that, because every day Eagle King collects and I organize all this news where everyone's telling you what's going to happen. And that's also a way of telling you what's not going to happen. IBIT. If IBIT gets through 53.5, the Bitcoin ETF, it's going to go to 73. You're probably going to see that break out in the next 3 days. Okay. To keep this simple, a quantitative system, 105K is where you would go if you had a blow off top in the next week or two. So end of this week and next week, I think a blow off to 105 is the target. That's a blow off in Bitcoin, and then the bid switches to Ethereum and Solana. Okay, now with Bitcoin on the daily chart, that last one was the weekly chart. These signals that you see here, particularly this 9 up here in the corner, in the most bullish case, a 9 signal from Tom DeMark's work is a sign of a pause that refreshes, right? And if it gets refreshed and it doesn't go down, then you can get up to a 2-week rally. You can have 13 more up bars, at least, right? Now, it doesn't have to go straight up. One other alternative is that you get like 4 or 5 big up days. And if that was the case, if you got like 4 or 5 really emotional days, that's when you would probably rotate from Bitcoin to ETH. But right now, it looks like you got anywhere from 5 to 13 up days in Bitcoin. And if it's not going down, so Michael Saylor and Kathy said, we'll be happy to pay under 100, and we'll be happy to buy over 100. Matter of fact, they're going to like it more over 100. I guarantee you. It'll just, the tech and the prices and the story, it's always better at the top. Okay, ETH. So there's been a first leg up and a second wave correction. So ETH is just hanging out, waiting for its day, I think, to start a major up move. Now, it could take another 10 days because we got to wait for the Bitcoin move, but this is a coiling process for a much bigger move. Same thing in Solana, right? You have a pause, a dip, and that was the dip. And this line that was resistance is no longer resistance. Kind of an interesting feature about DeMark work is that you'll go to resistance and then you'll stop, right? And if it doesn't go through, doesn't have to go through, it just doesn't back off, then guess what? The resistance fades. There's nothing stopping Solana. Like this all up here, this is air. There's nothing stopping this thing. Nothing. SUI, same thing. Every dip was bought. Pause that refreshes. Boom. Probably 10 more up days. Polkadot. Okay, so Polkadot breaks out. It's got this big resistance at 6. It's where the whole avalanche this summer started from. Hey, folks, if they need to connect all these different blockchains, if there are going to be, huge networks, if the government's going to be on blockchain, Polkadot, massive transaction throughput at almost no cost for Polkadot 2.0. Not trying to sell you Polkadot. I am trying to bring you back into a blockchain layer 1 Web3 mentality, right? That made you rich in 2021. And if Uncle Sugar and the Orange Man are all about this, because again, they have a crypto advisory group that's going on Joe Rogan. Like the media is trading the hippo coins, but like the crypto strategy is going to be on Joe Rogan. I mean, if I told you that at the top of the market earlier in the year, forget about it. It will be up only. I wouldn't have to do the show. We would have a party. Okay, ETH versus Bitcoin, 2 more weeks. Looks like you're going to have a selling climax in ETH versus Bitcoin. Hard to believe, but, you know, the cheaper they make it, the bigger the bargain. Bitcoin's just going to be that dominant, right? An emotional blow off top. Solana, same thing, right? Solana versus Bitcoin, not the same thing. It's just waiting to break out. Like the DeMark work shows, there could be one huge up day, right? Just a gigantic green candle when Solana outperforms Bitcoin when that day comes. Doge. Okay, let's talk about meme coins. So a 13 signal is a sign it should stop. And if it doesn't, it usually extends itself for another 9 bars. So if you have a 9 and a 13 together, that could be, you know, time to go, right? Time to go. I mean, I know everyone thinks it's going to $1, and it could. If it doesn't stop going down and it just restarts again, it's another 2 weeks. Okay? But, you know, if I had to choose between like FOMOing into Doge now or rotating this to say Bitcoin or like even a real world asset play, I think I would do that. But I understand if Doge does not go down, it's going to turn around and go to $1. Okay. Now WIF. So this DeMark 9 signal, you know, 13s are usually tops and bottoms. 9s can be tops, bottoms, or pauses. Okay. So in WIF, I notice you have a 9 top. I know you can't see it. But, you know, on every big top in WIF, it was the 9 signal that did it. Now, I know this is listed on centralized exchanges. There could be 2 more up weeks. I just don't know that I'm in a hurry to buy some of this stuff, and I could eat my words, right? Maybe it does go up another 2 weeks, and it's huge. Maybe, right? I'm sure everyone thought that back in April. There may be better trades elsewhere, right? Like, is this smart money buying this? The smart money was buying it at $2 or at $1 back in September. I don't know that smart money's paying $4. I know hedge funds have to get in. If they have to get in, they'll probably use Doge. Bonk. Now available to retail, right? Everywhere. Every top, every bottom was a 9 top or 9 bottom. Now, of course, it stands to reason that if this is an exception, if Bonk keeps going, then it's making a statement. That's the beauty of the 9 top setup. Excuse me. Okay. I don't think it's like, ooh, you have to be careful. But you have to be careful that you're not chasing the wrong thing, or you're not chasing something where big players are distributing to you. Trading, okay, fine. But hodling, I don't think so. I don't. All right, that's the market update. Okay, so someone's asking about Peanut. So me and the Eagle King were big fans of Peanut. Took profits way too early. So when you look at a 30-minute chart of Peanut, right? it's still square in nature, right? So that means if Peanut wants to go up, Peanut could go up. I mean, there's no reason. I think this is a better meme than most of the stuff's out there because it means something. And I wanted to say this on Twitter, but I didn't. But 3 days before the election, Peanut became Trump coin. Like everybody was long Trump coin thinking that, that was going to work. I thought it might work after the election, but they couldn't get centralized exchange liquidity. But they can get centralized exchange liquidity for Peanut. Right? Now, Peanut at 2 billion, I don't know. Maybe the meme blow off cycle is something crazy for Peanut, but it's a trading play in my mind, right? So, if it was like Elliott Wave, frankly, this looks like textbook stuff. You get a print at $2.75 or you get $3 and everyone loses their mind. And that's when whales will probably sell. So if you're going to do it, do it. But, it's worth $2 billion, right? This will be a good trade for 2 weeks to a month. The other stuff, if you deploy capital there, you might be able to catch a wave that lasts 2 years. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Dill Shop says, I've been holding XRP since 2017. Okay. Someone's asking for BHCG on a weekly time frame. BHCG. Okay. That's not BCHG. Okay, so here we have a grayscale product sharing screen. Got it. See, now when you look at this, again, this is the delayed impact, right? So first of all, Bitcoin Cash melts faces when it goes up. Like Bitcoin Cash really does trade like a meme coin. You have this accumulation cone, which has been absurdly bullish. Lux Algo draws it automatically. You have a support point here. This thing is trading at 8. Equilibrium is at 14. So all these other coins are at their premium zone. The premium zone in this is at 23. This is transactionally efficient Bitcoin. And it has an ETN or ETF or exchange traded product. Litecoin just stepped out of the game. Like, let that sink in. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to do Litecoin because I actually got to go. All right, friends, we appreciate you. We appreciate you watching. Let me do Brett. Okay, so Brett's going to get listed. We know that. So no matter how you look at it, daily or weekly, it's at its premium zone. It'll probably go up if it gets listed on Coinbase. Again, once it gets there, I had an old boss, and he used to say, Coinbase is where altcoins go to die. Now, that's not true anymore because of Base, but you best be careful and think about who's selling you your crypto. Okay, so Pepe, again, huge accumulation cone, classic. Was kind of like a head and shoulders bottom. And it's at the premium zone. It's at the Lux Algo take profit target. It's done its thing as a leading indicator. Okay. This market's going up a lot. The market doesn't understand the fundamental shift. It doesn't understand the technicals. It doesn't understand that certain things are breaking out and other things are breaking out and not going down. You have an opportunity to get long here, to probably have a sustained hodl. Like, remember Solana last year? You bought it in November. You bought it in October. You held it. It went all the way up in March. Yes, there were dips, but you never took heat on the November buys. You never took heat on that. And that's something to remember for this weekend. I will see you on Monday.